No, you fired.
No, you're fired. Hey guys, welcome to Show and Tell Comic Review. Tonight we have a guest, TheGiraffeLord, aka Aiden. What's up, man?
Hey, I'm socially awkward right now.
Thanks for joining us, man. I'm sure it's gonna be a fun show. Anyway, tonight we have Dark Tales of the Volksverse.
I don't even know how to describe this comic. Like, I don't know what to do at the beginning of the show here. I have no idea.
I'll just move on to how terrible this was.
That's a good way to do it.
Hated it.
Well, now it's Daniel right there. Well, there were like 6 or 7 stories, so like you hated all the stories?
No, honestly, I didn't hate all the stories. I liked the Dead Air. I liked that one, and the very end of the Luchador Knight. I can't say his fucking name. It's weird.
Walpurgis.
How do you pronounce that?
Go ahead, take it away, Christian.
What is it, Christian?
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's not even really a Spanish word.
What the fuck?
So I don't like. There's no Spanish word I recognize anyway. What Walpurgis?
Walpurgis. I don't know how. Like,
Let me look at it.
I spent like 5 minutes trying to pronounce it. No way.
It's the name of a saint.
A saint. Okay.
The Walpurgis.
Does it give you a?
I think. Yeah. The thing is, I think all of these stories are like from German folklore.
It did.
I just read that name is
There's
from German folklore, and then another one in the comic was also translated from German.
For some reason in my head, I just started reading in like a German accent. I don't know why.
In the beginning, I joined you only in the Walpurgis Night, but I heard Jack Black and Ignacio. And that's what I was doing in my head. The luchador shit. That made it more fun for me, man.
The thing is that one I was legit laughing out loud, sitting at the fucking computer. But it wasn't because initially I didn't really understand that they were writing it to be funny. It just seemed like some wild shit. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Why are y'all putting this in here? And then I get to the end and the fucking 2 little midgets fall out of the suit.
I hated that. I hated that. Like, it's this like cool character, and then just 2 little like.
That ruined that little part of me that liked the story. It ruined all of it. It's like, oh, these little people, really? Is that little people?
Like the one horse outfit type thing, like.
I ended up liking it. I hated it the whole time I was reading it. I was picking it apart, thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking tear this one an asshole." And then it happened. I was like, "Oh, it was all meant to be like a joke the whole time." Cool, got it.
I'm kind of with Daniel on that one. Like, as I was reading it, I was like, "Oh my god, this story is like terribly written," because I was taking it kind of seriously at first, and then even the art, I was just kind of like, "This art is not for this story." You know, like it just doesn't make sense.
At least.
But then, these 2 midgets fall out of the thing, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense now.
When I saw those two guys, I was like, "You're fired!" The pillbug dudes from.
No, you fired!
No, you're fired!
Hey!
Where Aiden has no idea what we're talking about.
Nope, not at all.
Dude, don't say that. I'm not that old. You've never seen Bug's Life?
I just don't remember it.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Like once,
well, because he didn't have to sit down and watch it with 13 kids over and over and over again, so we know it by heart.
Even my wife is like, "Wait, she's never seen Bug's Life?" That's wild.
All right, so now we're on to what is it? A Day in the Afterlife. I kind of like that one.
Oh my god, I fucking hated that one.
That one reminded me of Doom.
So bad. Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Just in the sense of like, I don't know why, but
it was very 8-bit. Fucking garbage.
no, the whole story was about he's trapped in hell, and his whole penance is making this journey. Right. The only thing I didn't like about it, he said he has this blessed bullet, and once he gets to him, he's going to kill him. But he wastes all his bullets on demons and shit. So when he gets there, he has no bullet. But then he starts all over again. Right. So why give him this blessed bullet? They should have left him. They should have told the story, him restarting, and that's his penance, having to go through all this over and over and over again in this afterlife.
those like 3 dudes are just blasted.
Oh. They were just more demons, more adversaries, something else that he has to go through daily, and that's his punishment in hell. But it's a cool premise. Like I appreciated the idea of the story. It was poorly written. The dude off and on decided to have an accent or not. Like none of it. And it was drawn like shit.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on the art, bro. Don't even get me started on the art.
Like,
no, because I'm debating on that one. Like, those 3 guys, what upset me about them is that if they had been drawn as just demon goons from hell, fine. Whatever, he blasts them, I'm over it. But the fact that they made each individual one so unique, you know, with like style and everything, I thought they were gonna tell us more about these characters, and they didn't. They just blast them to hell, and then we move on with this nonsensical story, because that's how I found the story, was just completely nonsensical. And the art bothered me because, like, I get going for a simple style. I'm all about simple styles, but this looked like a rough storyboard.
It was like that was their first draft.
Like that did not look like a completed comic at all. And it really bothered me. I did not like it.
Well, and it wasn't consistent with how much was completed in each panel. Some panels look like he was still erasing shit. Some panels look like he had sketched it out completely. Some look like he only did the outline really hard, and the rest of it was like, what the pick a fucking lane, bro. Like,
I appreciated the story that they were telling. They did it poorly.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm really looking for stuff in this one.
It was a cool concept. It was a cool concept, but it wasn't executed properly.
Next is Mark of the Vampire. I thought, wow, that was an amazing concept. This, you don't know he's a vampire at first. Of course, it's a Mark of the Vampire, but all you get is this narrative, and he's going, is it real? You know, my therapist says it's not real, but am I even outside? I could still be in my apartment. Here comes these guys. They're messing with him. Should I do something? Are they really there? Is this woman there? Like, this whole concept of him even questioning reality and still acting on it, I thought was a fantastic. It would make I'm kind of jealous that I didn't come up with it myself, because it would make a fantastic series, man, of this fucking schizophrenic, fucking dark man type character, you know, just out trying to help people, and he doesn't even know if he's helping anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just a wild concept. It wasn't well told, but I love the concept. What, Daniel?
He said he was like, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Like, yeah, that one was well written and had a good story, in my opinion. But again, we go back to the art, it didn't help at all. Thankfully it was well written, because I was able to understand what was going on, but I couldn't tell what was going on visually almost at all. There were certain things, but then, like, even in the fight scene where he jumps down and attacks him, kind of can't really at first tell it's him. And then when you do realize it's him, there's some weird fucking hand that's just I don't know what the hand is. I don't know where that came from or why it's there.
For me, the like writing of it seemed like schizophrenic Batman.
Yeah.
Like
I
no,
thought it was a really cool
he has
concept.
no idea what's going on, but he's still trying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have to agree with Daniel on the art, because with that one, yeah, I gotta admit that was one of the stories I kind of skimmed through because at the beginning it just wasn't really getting me. Like
I don't
it was
remember
interesting that this guy was questioning reality, but then all of a sudden, I don't know, like it's just the way it all started playing out. It kind of lost me, so I skimmed through it, and just to see what the
I
art.
really enjoyed. That's the only story I really enjoyed through the whole book. Really.
See, for me, it was Dead Air. Dead Air was
I
really
didn't
the
care
only
for
one
that
I
one.
enjoyed.
I didn't care for that one.
The
That
thing
was
is that the
next,
art on Mark of the Vampire, it wasn't doing the story any service because again, you have a concept that could have been a lot bigger, a lot better, but instead you gave it this newspaper comic art.
Yeah.
And that was the problem, is that again they're using art that like that kid looks like he's straight out of a Family Circus.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like no.
And they didn't.
That story deserved better art. If they would have had better art that told a better visual story, it actually could have been pretty enjoyable.
And they shouldn't have had to be a vampire either. That was unnecessary as well.
Yeah,
It could have been a guy out trying a vigilante.
And the thing is I didn't read the title before. What was it?
Mark of the Vampire.
Mark of the Vampire. Until you said that, I didn't realize that he was a fucking vampire in the story.
Oh,
I didn't. Like from the story itself, I didn't catch that. It was only in the title, and I didn't read the title. I just went
Christian,
on.
you should go back. You should go back and check it out, Christian. That was probably the best story in there. Forget the art. Just go read it. Just read the story.
No, but that's the thing, is that like even the way it was written, it just wasn't great.
It's pretty. His whole, is it real? Is it not real? I thought it was well written, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that part had me. That's what I'm saying. Like that part had me, but once they got to everything else, I was just kind of like, this is it. The whole thing felt unnecessary, except for the beginning. I guess like maybe the story was just too short, so like there wasn't enough depth to his character. Because okay, he's kind of on this schizophrenic thing, but tell me more. The fact that these, and I think that might be the problem with all of these stories, is that they're too short and they're trying to cram all of this ambiguity in there, and it's just not working. And then coupling it with the wrong art styles, because it's not that the art is bad, they just have the wrong styles to each story. There are actually some stories that I think if they switched art styles, they would have been better.
I thought they were all too long.
Really?
Even if the art style was good, like even if the art style was perfect, like just perfect art, I thought the story sucked except for Mark of the Vampire. I just thought the potential of that story was, dude, it's blowing my mind for the potential of that. I mean, the wheels in my fucking head every time we talk about the story of how I would fucking sit down and write this book is just driving me mad. Because I want to call this dude and be like, "Hey, man, I want to adopt your story into something that's readable. Can I do that?"
I don't think I read the last story either. Actually, I think I stopped at
Black Forest. That one was. I mean, it looked like Magic.
Bro, we haven't done Dead Air yet.
Klansman. Oh, Dead Air, that's right, yeah.
Bob he hated it so much he wants to skip it.
He's like,
look, all right.
I didn't really like that one.
I'll start with Dead Air. Look, the issue is that it's not that I liked Dead Air because it was a good story. I liked Dead Air because it was a classic story. It was the only story in here that actually felt very classic. Like, I felt like I was watching a 90s zombie movie, and I liked it. I have that kind of taste for that sort of thing. So I liked the old-fashioned way in which the story was told, and frankly, out of all the art styles, Dead Air had one of my favorites, because it was simple, but it was eloquent.
It was reminiscent of Mysterious. It felt like Mysterious in a way.
It was a lot simpler than Mysterious. Like, the one that really resembled Mysterious to me was the first one with the luchadores. Because if you saw the way that they drew like the heads in proportion to the bodies in that story, like it was caricature.
Yeah.
This one, it still also had that newspaper comic feel, but the shading that you did was a lot more elegant, and the details that they added in the background of each panel was also a little extra. And they did it all with clean line work, and I mean the visual storytelling wasn't outstanding, but it wasn't bad like all the other ones. Because that was the other thing that bothered me about all the other stories. Like visually, they were told just god awful. Like there was no effort put into like the visuals of the comic, especially with the Luchadores one. That part where he impales the chupacabra. That page could have been so badass, and they gave you the most basic ass, layout. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna forgive that. Dead Air, I liked it. The art in this story, I liked it a lot more than the others, and it was a classic story, so I ate it up.
Yeah, I don't really know what the appeal was, but it was more compelling to me. It was I enjoyed reading it. The visual was recognizable. I could tell where we were. I liked that they threw fucking Rush in there, like a little dig to Rush and this fucking pill addiction and shit. Like they're like, court order says I can't self-medicate, so you have to give it to me.
Look, I enjoy hearing Christians say Spanish words than I did the story. If I used to watch that chick, I used to do that Italian chick that would cook, man. She'd be like, okay, so you get some mozzarella, and then you get, and you chop up the pepperoni, and I'm like, man, shut the fuck up.
Shit. Her head was drawn.
Not that bad though. Christian ain't that bad.
For Dead Air, it was like too spontaneous. It was like immediately, it was like, zombies. But at the same time, I was trying to figure out what was going on, because I said food and I was like, is it like, I thought it was like food zombies in your fridge or something. I had no idea what was going on until like the dude got swarmed, pretty much.
I didn't understand the reproduction part of that.
Like,
so
what's
going eating each other. Yeah. Then you realize the reproduction is eating, or
when they got Rush, yeah.
That's the thing though. Like there was a lot of like politically speaking, there was a lot of predictive programming in this comic. Like especially when they started talking about like rounding up the people in the camps and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was just kind of like, what the hell? Like they're just glossing over this, like it's whatever, no big deal.
And the dude is like the guy that's telling you don't go. If you got guns and food, why go? He's the one, you see him with a hacksaw in his head later on.
How did that happen? Like,
I don't know, but he's outside the FEMA camp. Yeah, he's outside the FEMA camp that he wasn't going to go to.
I don't understand what zombie carries around fucking hacksaws as a weapon.
Exactly. Like, like what happened is like,
I hate the left hemisphere.
Zombie baby's waiting in the back, waiting for him to carve it.
Right, because the hacksaw isn't even a great weapon. Like it's something that it like takes so much time to use. Because I hate that at the end of the story they like show him like with the hacksaw like in his head. I'm like, do you know how much time? Yeah, like you would have to sit there and like hack it. But that's really all I have to say for Dead Air. Like the story was classic. It wasn't great, but it was a classic story, and just the art was actually like I liked the art of Dead Air.
The art is the only reason why I kind of liked it.
It was done more than everything else. It feels like it was just a group of dudes that had a bunch of stuff and never got it to publication. And they're like, well, if we put it all together, right? Yeah, but mine's not done. Whatever, man. Like, just fucking throw it in there. Like, just 3 pages out, you won't get it anyways.
That is really what it feels like. Like they really put all these stories together in a hurry.
We start seeing guidelines as it goes through.
I'm surprised we didn't in there.
Yeah, they did feel like put together in a rush and stuff. Like I don't know, man. I couldn't really fully enjoy this whole comic. Dead Air.
For one of them, whenever the zombie biting some dude's neck, it didn't look like it was like biting and ripping. It looked like at first I thought the zombie was like throwing up on his neck or something because the way it was drawn. Like I had to look back at it like 3 different times. Tell me to come prepared, and you didn't have a drink.
It'd be like that. I was reading this terrible book right up until fucking 9:50, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna.
Valid. Granted.
Sweet. Oh shit! I did come prepared. Just fucking a pothead.
Valid.
Well, this next story, we have the Ku Klux Templar Knights here beheading white chicks.
What was up with that outfit? Like, I was not expecting that at all. All of a sudden, it just cuts to the story and pointy hat.
It was a bunch of, I don't know who was telling that story. I guess it was that goblin at the end. Bedtime story.
See, that doesn't make sense to me, though, either way, because the dude's looking at him at the start. Like, the kid's looking at the dude at the start.
Sitting in a chair.
And all of a sudden... What happened?
Yeah, the goblin.
Did he get there?
They made it seem like the goblin was out to get the kid, right? But it's like the kid was staring at him the whole time he was telling the story.
Yeah, because he's sitting in a chair. The chair's behind the goblin in the last thing. And they got that knight stabbed with his own sword, and crucified up against the back there.
Nobody noticed that.
How did this happen? Mid-story, just telling a story. And then little Timmy,
we're not gonna tell you the rest of it. You'll figure out in the morning.
I'm glad this was brought up because that was another one of those things that upset me about the first story with the luchadores, was that they had this guy narrating the story, and then all of a sudden the luchador was kind of narrating the story.
Narrating? Yes.
You know, and then all of a sudden he was back to narrating. I was like, that's inconsistent.
They left him out completely in another one of the stories. Like, there was no continuity with the storyteller of the whole book.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something I just remembered from the first story I want to bring up is that I wasn't expecting the dude to have a gun. Like, it just all of a sudden wrestled a dude and then it's sword and gun out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who read the last story? Anybody read the last story? What? So tell us about it, Aiden.
You did.
I don't know how well I remember it. Let me just skim over real quick.
Which story did you stop at, Bob?
This is right here. I read like 5 pages in. I mean, the title itself was so pretentious. I was like, I mean, come on, girl. Like, it's. Let me get to it. Journal of Joseph Talon Faulkner and Eternity Shall Beacon. I don't. What do you think he is? Fucking J.R.R. Fucking R.R. Tolkien. What did I say?
Oh.
Stop drinking before the show, Bob.
I will say this. I'm skimming through it now, and honestly, the art's not bad.
Yeah, no, it is. I like the art for this one. Yeah. I don't know how I remember this one the least. The last one in it.
Because it's so boring, dude. I mean, really, I tried 2 or 3 times.
It seemed a little like there's a lot of vampires in this one. It's just like I think it's like 4 of them have vampires.
Yeah, because this guy's like bleeding, but definitely. Yeah,
the end. It's like I'm Dracula.
They're talking about cultists and things like that.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the cultists. They're in a wooden cage, but before that, it seemed like they were just in like a bar or something. Like I don't know how they got to that scenario.
Eyes off. He turned into a bat.
I guess. I mean, that's it. But before that, he's like UFC swordsman of the East. I can also do kickboxing, breakdancing, he listed like 12, like not 12, it was like 4, but still, like different professional fighting things. I think one was like something about gun sharpshooter was one of them. He says, I'm pretty sure.
Hate when they do that.
Like, and you can give them one cool thing and just some like sidearm just in case. But you don't got to give him like a full arsenal of like 30 years of experience that he's done over like the last 5.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Now, I will say this. The art took a drastic downward toll on page 40 when they're showing all the guys in hoods getting stabbed. Up until that point, the art was pretty consistent, like the lighting and everything, but then after the second panel, it looks like they told the artist, hey, we're running out of time, you gotta audition this out, because the lighting completely changed, and now all of a sudden
using too much black ink.
Yeah, like there's barely any lighting in the rest of the comic.
Oh yeah, no, the hoods just go straight black after that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you see how it's just like black or white. They stopped using the grays, so like that nice little satisfying lighting that they were getting before, just not anymore.
Yeah,
It's gone.
just
Yeah.
no depth.
Yeah, because like you look at the final shot where they're showing him in the chair reading the book, like that shot could have been so well lit, but it's like basic as hell compared to the beginning of the comic.
Yeah. Maybe that was like a Aquaman thing. Like, it's like you said, it's the last fucking panel. Fuck it, just throw it on there. That'd be alright. Did you hear Aquaman? They actually redid the end of Iron Man. So at the end of Aquaman, he gets up in front of a bunch of news people, and he's like, "I am Aquaman." Like, that's the best y'all could do, is to rob Iron Man. Like, come on, guys. That was your ending to your entire fucking narrative, and your universe was to copy Iron Man. Douchebags.
Because DC knows they're not as good as Marvel.
They're fucking crap, man.
As you can see.
You get the kind of writers that you pay for. You know what I mean? And even if you're a great writer, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to give them great stories for half the fucking price. You're going to give them what they're fucking paying for. Pay for what you need, man. Fucking nobody hates Superman. Look, I'm not a Superman fan. Not because I hate Superman. I love the concept of Superman, but because nobody knows how to write for him. Like, he's never been written well. Write for the man.
My one thing with Superman is that he's pretty much invincible until you get a little rock near him.
Well, I mean, Green Lantern is allergic to the color yellow and wood.
Yeah,
so
it's like the weirdest weakness. Like someone's getting robbed, you better hope they don't have like yellow socks on or something.
Right? Yeah, like,
That's like fucking.
Oh, my powers.
Bolt. Y'all seen Bolt? And he thinks his weakness is styrofoam.
Oh yeah.
What
the
is
dog? Yeah.
A packing peanut.
Oh. Yeah, Paul, I remember that.
There was also that movie, what was it, Megamind? That he was like,
oh yeah.
Copper is my weakness. It's like, what?
Oh yeah.
Your weakness is copper?
It's time.
That's hilarious. You know, they did an analysis of all the super speed characters, and he's the fastest super speed character or speedster by Superman, the Flash. Because he sits there, man, in a matter of a microsecond. He goes to a park and sits and ponders his entire life. He travels.
Yeah, like he gives himself therapy.
He's doing
and like,
all this. Yeah. The whole time, like, nobody's moved. Like, everybody's in the same position, right? And then he does like fucking shit that would take us a year to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
like he flew a kite and shit in that scene.
Yeah. He's flying a fucking kite. People are like,
flying a kite when nothing's moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
In too, right?
Yeah, right. Well, he's super. Mega Man. He's making his own win, bro. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie, Mega Man. I ain't watched that in a while.
Mega Man was ahead of its time.
Yes. Oh, what about the extra pages in the back?
I didn't read those. It seemed like just kind of summaries or just like snippets.
I just checked out the art.
Well, I mean, I skimmed through them, and it's just the writers and artists like stroking each other's knobs. So let's, I think we could do with that.
I didn't read none of it. I was just checking out some of the art and stuff. Show and Tell Comics, where we make our guests finish the comic for us and explain it to us, and then we'll judge them. Without even reading it.
I wasn't ready for that. You should have warned me. You should have prepared me for that. I didn't know I was going to be going over the last one.
I did prepare you. I said, make sure you got a drink and that your lighting is good.
Yeah, that's going to prepare me for having something good for the last one, yeah.
No, I mean, the thing is, like, if this was a better comic, I feel like you would have gotten a much better outcome, but it's just this whole thing was like, what?
Yeah. So anyway, that's it, guys. We'll see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.
part of
Old
our
enough to fuck your
selection.
mom.
Yeah.